So what's Monday's meeting now?
Just the hearing.
Oh, to
approve it.
Got it.
Thank you.
Oh, great. We're done this appointment again on Monday.
Oh, that was what it was.
It's free, but I'll be numb. That's okay.
You have to come.
I know I do, and I need to actually also go to that dentist appointment, so I might go today.
Rob, are you okay for next month? Any conflicts?
What date is it?
I think it's the 14th.
Jody, do you still have the sign-in sheet?
I actually am passing it around.
Okay, sorry.
Wait, for the annual meeting or for this one?
Doesn't matter, I didn't sign in for either. And
You what?
You did speak though, we heard you speak.
exactly.
We got you on tape. You're on tape.
I didn't know I was supposed to sign in.
Rob,
Got it.
and Monday, you're fine?
Oh, you're fine.
Next Monday.
14th. For the budget hearing.
April
For many years.
14th, Monday for the
7
budget.
o'clock for 5 minutes.
Every year, it's almost.
You're good?
Because I'm paying
Yes,
attention to
I'll
what
make it work, whatever happens.
and then I
Thank
leave
you.
my place.
All right. Oh. You ready?
Oh, yeah, where?
Now finish where
We
you
know.
All right, we're gonna call the meeting to order.
Need a gavel.
I need a gavel. So we're gonna call the meeting to order, 7:15. Number 2, we're gonna waive the Pledge of Allegiance since we already did it. So number 3, whenever you're ready for roll call, Tony, please.
Karen Tynes? Here. Rod Parrish?
Sure.
Lita Drain?
Here. Number 4, any public comments, 3 minutes. Relating to the agenda items. Nothing?
Regarding the agenda?
The agenda items.
No.
Nothing? All right, we'll go to number 5. Review and approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting dated Thursday, March 13th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented by the clerk.
Second?
A second.
Comments, questions, discussions?
Nope.
Karen?
No, no.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, review and approval of the town fund transfer appropriation of $8,700 from contingency to health insurance. $8,700. Motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
This is out of the,
Town fund.
okay, I'll second.
Comments, questions, discussion?
Are we covering what's happening in Mark's office? Is that why we need this?
No, that was last month. This is the supervisor's office
Okay.
for the elected officials. Anything else?
Nope.
When you're ready, Tony?
Rod Parrish?
Yes.
Karen Tynes?
Yes.
Lita Drain?
Yes, motion carries. Township warrants for approval tonight in the amount of $21,574.58. Motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second.
Comments, questions, discussion?
Nope.
Seeing none when you are ready.
Karen Tynes?
Yes.
Rod Parrish?
Yes.
Lita Drain?
Yes, motion carries. Number 8, road district warrants for approval in the amount of $103,760.33. Motion,
I'll make the motion.
second.
I would like to make a motion to pull out one bill, and either vote on it individually tonight or table it till the next meeting. That individual price is $8,837.63. It's for Swenson Granite Works in South Hadley, Massachusetts. And it's come to my attention that we are back in the business of building parks. And we are building a park by the Rawson Bridge on a parcel of land that the county doesn't believe we even own. It's all staked, which I'll leave these up here for all you to see, but it's all staked right now for the new parking lot and sidewalks and monument to go in for Jacob Keltner, which is the sheriff's deputy that was killed serving the warrants in Rockford. I feel terrible about what happened to Mr. Keltner, but once again, we're in a situation that the road district should not use road district tax dollars to build parks in the state of Illinois. Mr. Puma specifically told us that over and over, and here we're in the same situation again, that the road district is attempting to build a park with Nunda Township Road District in Nunda Township. I would like to put this on hold. I would actually like to table it until the next executive board gets in here and we decide what we're gonna do with it. Right now, it says on here that the shipping date is on hold, so we paid, I don't know if we paid it in full or not, but it hasn't been delivered yet, to my understanding. So I want that individual one pulled out of the aggregate number of 103,760,33, and we'll vote on that individually, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do with this.
So the motion is for Joni, 94,000,
94?
922, 70. So we need a second.
Second. Oh, did I do first?
No, it's a new
No,
motion.
no, yeah, okay. so it's-
I amended it to the aggregate number
Okay,
that she just
so
put out.
second.
94, 922, 70?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other comments or discussions?
No, can I explain what?
Yeah, but we go to that next, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay. So on this, no.
We've already named Hamilton Court after Mr. Keltner. We've renamed the Rawson Bridge Road after Officer Keltner. We held a ceremony out there. We paid for a bugleist. I mean, the Nunda Township Road District has done enough already for Mr. Keltner. His widow doesn't live on the street anymore where they resided. She's still in Nunda Township somewhere, which I'm happy she's here. And like I said, I feel terrible about what happened to her husband. But we shouldn't use road district dollars to build parks in the state of Illinois.
Okay, so wait.
So wait, we're
We-
still on
we
the,
still
we're on
have
the
to vote on the
motion
first
without-
one.
Correct, I'm
Yeah.
just finishing my discussion of why I wanted to pull this one out. That's the aggregate number. I'm fine with everything else that's on the bills this month.
Okay, so roll call when you're ready on the 94, 922, 70.
All right, Karen Tinis,
Yes.
Rob Parrish,
Yes.
Lena Drain.
Yes, motion carries.
Okay, so then the next thing would be a motion for this.
Motion for
this separate vote, right?
8,837.63.
Okay, so I'll make the motion,
Second?
just to discuss.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I'd prefer to table it till the next board gets
Well,
to make the
but-
decision.
don't we do that in the
Right.
discussion? Yeah. So, yeah, second. Okay, I agree, table it.
Yeah.
Wait,
But-
wait, who's the
Did you second or not?
He said,
Yes,
he said
yes.
second,
Okay.
yeah,
Alright, so we
yeah.
have a second. Comments,
Yes.
questions, discussion.
Yeah, I want more information on that.
I was blindsided by it today. A resident called me and said, "Do you are aware of what's going on down there?" I said, "No, I don't." He
Who
says,
owns it?
McDOT believes they own it because they moved the bridge and they built a new bridge alongside of it. This is the old easement
Okay,
that he's building a park on now.
okay,
And
yes.
he has a plan here from Jim Condon, but there's no stormwater permits again, there's no approvals, but we already have bought a bench.
Right, so, and is that paid? I mean, the voucher's in there, but is it physically paid?
It's on a
No,
credit
it's
card
not,
again.
no, nothing's paid because it hasn't been approved.
Right, okay, but it's on a credit card?
Yes.
Okay. But no, I'd still,
That doesn't mean it's gonna get paid.
right. So,
And
yeah,
we're getting in the same situation again. We shouldn't be here because we discussed all this, you know? So, like I said, a resident called me today, he said, "Are you aware?" I said, "I have no clue what you're talking about, where you're at." And he said, "Just crossing over Rawson Bridge on your left-hand side where the old bridge was, your current road commissioner has it staked to put in the new park." And I said, "How do you know that?" He goes, "Because I got a blueprint from him a long time ago." So, here's the print, there's no stormwater permit, the guys at the county had no idea it was happening, and they
Is-
believe the county believes they own that property, because it's the former right-of-way,
McHenry County.
correct, so.
Yeah, table it.
I don't wanna be in a situation that I approve something that's,
No, I want more information for sure too.
okay.
All right, Johnny, when you're ready.
Rob Parrish,
Yes, the table.
Karen Sinus,
Yes to table.
Rita Drain,
Yes, table. So motion fails. Number 9, posting of the preliminary budgets for all road and bridge funds.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Any comments, questions, discussion?
Are they in my bag?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed how long it took to get it in here, but it is what it is. Dealt the hand I'm dealt. Go ahead.
Any questions, comments?
I think,
Just post it.
post it.
Post.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 10, budget workshop. Last year, we just went over the changed items. What do you guys wanna do this year?
Same.
Same thing. You just-
Mark, do you wanna say anything before we go? No?
You all have a copy of my budget that I submitted, obviously, you see there's an increase in there, you know, as hard as I try to maintain, expenses up in the office there, it's just now to the point here where, it's just a move that has to be made here in the office. We have 2 longtime employees that are gonna be retiring here, I estimate around the 1st of September. One is one of our supervisor, our data collection area there, and another one's head of our clerk or our office support staff. The office support staff person, we were aware of this ahead of time, and last year we were able to bring in 1 full-time person and a part-time person to learn the position, go through the cycle, and start to become familiar with it, so when this transfer occurs, we're prepared for it. Same thing with our 1 data collector, which was a supervisor of our data collection. She's retiring. Last year, we were able to bring in a gentleman that started to train up for that. And as of April 1st, I hired another person for that position. This budget that I prepared here was obviously submitted here by the end of January as required by me. I do not anticipate spending the amount of money that I've requested in here. From a taxpayer standpoint, the levy, it was in place already. This is money that's going to be coming set aside out of, the reserves that we have. But at this point, I'm not getting any younger. We need to have people in the office that are ready to step in and keep the office rolling. Work is not slowing down in the office. This past year, we added another over $14 million in equalized assessed valuation to the assessment roll here. We have several housing developments that are on the board, several commercial things that are on the board. We have some multifamily dwellings that are currently under construction along the 176 corridor, finishing up our multifamily development that was built on an amazing time by Kunat and leased and basically occupied the day they could walk out of it, So that's hitting the books. I think it's about 250 homes planned for Ames Road and Road 31. We got another 600 plus homes that are on the board in the city of McHenry along Kern Road and Bull Valley Road. At this time, if we don't start to take a look at the funding in the office and plan to keep it moving forward here, we're gonna have some trouble. And in the mix of all this stuff, we've taken on some additional projects up in the office. We're in the process of archiving all the paper records. Our last shredding period we had, we were able to destroy over 1,200 pounds of paper records in the office. We're freeing up floor space by the elimination of file cabinets and things of that, maybe an eye towards how the space can be utilized more functional, things like that. There's just a lot of moving parts here, and I'll be honest with you, I did leave the expenses in here for the staff that we do have in the office. My hopes is that I am able to add an additional person, maybe 3/4 of the way through the year, and it'll become part of the, next year's, operating expense. But, I think going forward, just from where I sit from the budgeting standpoint, I think it's time for the board to start to consider, the need for
That's my
funding.
vote, we just ignore it.
The need for funding for the office, which, obviously, I know it's a tough thing, but, looking at, the levies that we're preparing and the revenues that we're collecting, be it,
Thank
the passes that we're making on not taking the new construction amount or just not increasing the levy at all. Expenses are going up, it's harder and harder every time to keep this thing running. It's, I get nervous at the point here, you can see my budget that's in place now and, how we cut it, basically to where we're at, and, I'm a pretty conservative individual here, so I mean, like I said, I do not anticipate spending this amount of money, but for me, in the sleepless nights and the, 7 days a week at this job is, something that I need to reconcile, I need to have a little peace of mind here and not freak out every time I get to a, 99% in a line item and figure out where I can move from here to there to get, to get through this, the current budget, and also the idea that, time is getting short for me. I need to have a little time and, as much as I enjoy the job and everything that comes along with it, the people and things like that, this job is not easy by any task, be it, the management of the staff up there, the fact that, you're basically an IT department, you look at our website, we have probably, I wouldn't even be shy about saying the best township website from the assessment standpoint, and I'm proud of the whole website, but at least the portion that I have control over in the entire county. I think there's, and I would even hazard a guess to say, even in the Collar counties, Lake and King County, it's a great tool for the residents. It helps, helps everybody to feel better about, their assessment on their property. But, the fact of the matter is, taxes in this county are crushing people. It's something we care about constantly, and, collecting data from these people, for our people going out in the field, and people willing to talk or let you on the property or try to get information. And this job is just, it's becoming difficult. And to go back to the website, it's almost become as much as it is a nice benefit for all the taxpayers here in the township and everything else, it's almost become a curse, because what it's done now is, throughout the state, these companies are just sprouting up left and right, peeling people's assessments and things like that, and, charging them fees. And I encourage anybody, come and see us, or, the information that's there is so easy for anybody to do this on their own. I find it, I'm just not happy when I see people have to pay somebody to do this. And I get it, some people just don't have the time or this or that, but, really, anybody that has a concern with their assessments, come up and see us, we're there all day, we're happy to talk to anybody, and things like that. And again, that's just another cost for the office, we're fully staffed, full-time people here, I'm a full-time assessor. It's just, it's not to be prying about this thing here, but it's not a budget that I put together easily here. The amount of money that we're asking for here was probably, before I took office, we had a budget like this in place in the years 2013 and 2014. So, one of the first things I did was bring in the spending in there. I believe it was a benefit for the whole township, because it allowed us to do some other things here that needed to be done. But at this point in time, it's just, the time has come to get a budget in place here that's gonna allow for the proper staffing and operation of the assessment office.
Thank you. So we're just gonna go to the ones that changes, and compensation of town officers. Obviously, those first 5 changed and have gone up. It was already set. The health insurance went up 2,000.
But did we raise the board of trustees?
We did.
We did?
I don't know why we did. I'm missing the first page to the profit and loss. I think it's because it was based on,
Maybe you went from 12 meetings to 14.
I think so.
Oh,
It was still 132.
okay, yeah. Got it.
Yep, that's what I did.
Okay, go ahead.
The health insurance and then social security went down. Any questions for that? Or you wanna just go through the whole thing?
No, do the changes.
No, just.
Those are the changes.
Yeah.
Any questions? I mean, section wise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go, yeah.
General administration, everything stayed the same. Legal went down $5,000. Fine. Maintenance went down 20.
Because we've completed projects, that's why?
Yep.
Okay.
Travel went down 250.
Okay.
Publishing went down 500. Workers' comp went down 4.
And you feel like you're covered there?
Yeah, it's just, the amount hasn't changed.
Okay,
I probably should have lowered it before.
okay.
Supervisor's office, professional improvement went down 2. Travel expenses went down 1,000. Telephone went down 1,000. Social security went down 2,000. IRMF went down 2,000. And miscellaneous went down 1,000.
Okay.
And this is all based on the year-end final numbers.
Okay.
Any questions?
Nope.
Oh, you know what, there's one thing I wanted to change, I'm sorry. Equipment purchase,
Yeah.
the clerk's computer is on its last leg. And it's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
20 years old. So I'd like to bump that, and my computer, the fan hasn't gone off in a week.
Okay.
So I'd like to bump that to 4,000, bump it up to,
Which line item are you on, I'm sorry?
that is number 626,
Second line on page 2.
I got it. And you wanna move that to what?
4,000.
To replace the clerk's computer and probably yours.
I don't know, my fan's going off.
Okay.
So that brings us to the assessor's office. Salaries went up, I'm gonna do the actual number, 340,706 from 291,18. Computer expense went up $2,000. Health insurance is up 25,000. Unemployment's up 1,500. So
25,000 for health insurance?
that's expensive.
That's a-
And
that's a
for, that adds, if I'm not mistaken, Mark, that's for your new employee.
Right, one of the people that is retiring did not have, even though she was full-time, I was one of the people that was railroad and she didn't need insurance. The new person I brought in required as a family insurance.
Social Security's going up 5,000. And IRMF is going up 4,000. Any questions? Okay, Parks and Grounds, I up 4,000 since there's been, not only Pete, but another neighbor has come in about that park. Not much we could do, from what I understand, opening up those drains will be thousands and thousands of dollars. So this is just for, right now there's a tree down they want removed in someone's backyard. So just give some monies to do miscellaneous maintenance. Which brings us down to other expenditures. So I knocked community relations from 10 to 2,500. That was mainly for that tornado siren. And capital improvements from 100 to 50, which will allow for the stairs and, if there's any driveway work being done. That is all the changes. There's not really any motion to make any other changes you guys wanna make.
So you're gonna increase the aggregate total to cover that 4,000 that you added on the equipment purchases.
That's correct.
Almost 2 million.
Anything, guys?
I got nothing, we're good, go ahead and.
Karen?
I'm good.
All right. Number 11, any new business?
We went over the other two.
Oh, crap.
I was gonna say, did those change?
Oh my gosh, okay, no, there's no changes.
Okay.
Cemetery and GA. So new business, any new business?
I just give you a heads up that the county's looking into this park. I mean, it's a park. It has no benefit to the road district or any of the residents.
Okay. Karen?
When do we renew the health insurance? Does the health insurance renew for everybody, like for the assessor's office, for your office, for the road district, all at the same time? They're all separate?
Assessor and supervisor's office is January 1st,
What about the road district?
February 1st. No, March 1st.
So obviously
No, February
you shop it for the assessor and the supervisor and the road district
Well,
shop.
Mark and I do.
Yeah, and then the road district shops their own?
We have the same agent,
Oh, okay.
different policies.
Okay. I kind of wanna be involved in that too.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? Number 12, old business. Ahmed, did you guys read what I sent you?
This is on Ridgefield Road, right? Cause I thought when we first talked about it, we were talking about the other cemetery on. Cause I was confused when I saw it today, it's like, it's not
No,
the
it's always
cemetery I was
Ridgefield.
thinking of. So, yeah, it sounds like they gotta go alongside of it to get out to the back, right?
I'm not sure. I mean, when I first got it, I didn't like the sound of that easement. They've amended that side letter. Eugene, have you been brought up to speed on this?
I have.
It's all above ground wires, from my understanding.
Right.
I don't know how far back they're going. But they did give us the letter of agreement. They're gonna pay the attorney fees up to $2,500. We're at like maybe 500 now. Scott didn't see any reason why, with this agreement in place, why we can't sign it.
Right.
What's your take?
I agree with Scott.
Yeah, I mean, it covers everything.
Yeah.
It addresses, they fix what
And
we
it
wanted them to.
identifies
Right.
everybody.
Okay,
So it's up to you guys if you wanna sign it or not.
Yeah, I would.
me too.
Alright, so we don't have to, there's no money, so.
Okay.
All in favor?
Alright.
Any opposed? Any other old business?
Do we need to sign it, or you just?
I'm gonna sign it. Yeah, I'll have, Casey notarize it. Any other old business? Alright, number 13, public comment, 3 minutes, for anything.
I don't know if this is the format for it or whatever, but, you guys know me, I've been here year after year. My concern concerns are just the stormwater, the main ditch line that comes off of Route 31, comes out to Marietta, travels down Terracotta, and then ends up across the road in Berrien Estates. There hasn't been any water lately, so I know the groundwater is down and everything, but, just the maintenance of these ditch lines, I do my property, and I've done it ever since we moved in here, 300 feet on the property line on the one side and 100 feet out in front, and, I just wish people downstream from me would take care of theirs. I'm sorry. And I wish they would take care of
Speaking of
theirs.
downstream.
And if we could, if we, moving forward, if we could put, they do a great job, the guys on the road district, when they do clear it out. But if we could maybe get it on a maintenance schedule or something, just so when that stuff all grows up and all the junk clogs up in front of those culvert pipes, if we could just get a schedule going to where we could keep it cleared, Getting the water from point A to point B is important. Not that and I don't know what to do about the culvert along Marietta, because I've been told, even back when Copsel was in the job, he said, oh no, that culvert's too far off of Marietta for us to maintain it, for Nunda to maintain it.
Right.
Well, I guess, why would that be the case? Why would it be put far enough off the roadway to where they wouldn't have to maintain it? It doesn't make sense.
I couldn't tell you unless we were looking at some maps to
Yeah.
understand where it is
Yeah, but,
compared to the pins of the properties.
Yeah.
But I remember you coming in before and addressing it, because you have one that goes between the houses too, or something? Between the lots?
Yeah, there's right along the lot line, 300 feet on the, south side of my property is the main ditch line.
Yeah.
It makes 90-degree turns.
Right.
Coming into my
Yeah.
property, going out of my property, which water doesn't like to do.
Where does the water originate? Doesn't it originate up by the car wash?
It comes off of 31 and goes into an underground tunnel system. And then that tunnel system that dumps out of a pipe, I can show you where it's
Yeah.
at. It dumps out of a pipe and just heads towards the subdivision.
Right.
You
Have you ever seen water in the detention pond out at 176 and 35?
Not
I mean,
much.
designed to hold water, and it does never anything in there, and then you have a flooding problem.
Yeah. I was trying to give my point of view when that all was done. I even talked to IDOT, and, judging by where I'm standing in my yard, I can see that retention pond is on higher ground. It's
Right.
not, it's pretty obvious, so.
Right.
Yeah, there's gonna be some water going into it when we get storms, but the main bulk of it's still gonna come down that ditch line,
Right. Right.
So,
And the neighbors next door.
yeah, and the neighbors don't clear their culverts out, so it gets backed up by us. I know mine, I have big chunks of crushed cement to try to prevent the erosion,
Yeah.
which I have to move again after, just having double hernia surgery not too long ago. So, yeah, I just need a little bit of help with that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is the format for it, maybe I should come
Absolutely,
back next month.
absolutely. You're here, you attended the meeting, both of them.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
My intent is to go back to a maintenance program. We're not gonna be going out looking for projects.
Yeah, I mean, when I called, and I know I talked with you, Lita, and it got done.
Yeah.
And I also want to tell you, the guys that are out on the crew on the road district,
Yeah.
great bunch of guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with you.
they do some good work,
Yeah.
so I really want to compliment those guys too.
Right. But it should start with the maintenance of your property existing before we go find other things to do. So.
Yeah, I mean.
My intent is every guy that has a snowplow route, he's responsible for giving us a heads up on his ditch lines
Yeah.
in the spring.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't take anything to run a crew around just to clean up culverts and cut high spots and swales.
yeah, the weird thing about this is, where it dumps off of Route 31 out of that open tunnel, there's no one responsible to maintain it back there, and,
Right.
upstream from me.
Right.
So, I mean, over the years, I know that a neighbor down the street, they're their fence has actually started to just erode into the ditch line because of all that water coming through.
Yeah.
So, and I know that's not your responsibility, that's not part of the road district, but, you know, I just wish IDOT could have, when they did that project, that they could have routed that along the roadway like it should have been,
Right.
you know?
Right, that's what I said, that detention basement is always empty.
Yeah.
Rarely have ever seen
Yeah.
water in there.
Yeah.
You usually see cattails in there, but there's ever water and there's nothing in there.
Yeah, I know.
mean,
Why don't you make sure you leave your number
Sure.
with Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right,
Yeah, I
Thank
welcome
you.
you to stop out anytime and
Sure.
I'll walk through it with you
Sure.
and stuff.
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, can you remind me of your name?
Gary Kirchhoff,
Thank you.
Kirchoff.
Anybody else? All right, number 14, reports. Easter egg hunt Saturday for anyone with little ones or grandkids, 11 o'clock. Joni?
I just have one, just informational purposes. The laptop for the clerk has been passed down, just so everybody knows, through 2 clerks, if not 3. We're estimating it's over 20 years old. And when it has to be finagled to keep it going, it's finagling it to keep it going.
They're
to type the minutes.
discontinuing Windows 10, so we can't even update
It,
it.
it's a struggle, so,
Full start?
yeah, it's not a frivolous purchase.
You can get a new one from the FAA, because they're about that old or older. So.
Yeah, it is quite old, yeah. So that's the purpose of that. It's not even hardly working.
Says Governor Rod Blagojevich on it.
That's all.
Mark, anything?
No, I inadvertently gave my report during the budget presentation, but as
Yeah.
I often do, you know me, I talk, so. I'll tell you this, that the county clerk is currently preparing the tax rates. I expect to see them set here in about the next week or so. I'm hopeful that, we all experience lower tax rates as I am every year. You know, there was a few referendums that were approved that are gonna hinder the decline of those tax rates, but, so be it, you know, it's a process that we live with. This year, I think tentatively, I, put together a, just to get you in preparation here. On a 3-year average here in Nunda Township, our assessment level is now just trending at just under 30.5%. The Department of Revenue encourages, requires an assessment level of 1/3 of the market value. Based on our 3-year average level of assessment this year, we can all expect to see and again, this is not a general assessment year here for the township, so the only work that we'll be completing up there is a few things that we identified during the last appeal process, plus addition of new construction, any fire damages, permit work and things of that nature. But for the most part, we'll all experience about, if our assessment level does not change, a factor that'll be applied at the county level through the equalization process of 1.0949. So, sorry for the bearer of bad news, but, this is the market that we're in right now. We're not any different than, any of the other collar counties or the other townships throughout McHenry County. It's a struggle right now, on a 3-year average level here to maintain an assessment level that's, keeping up with what's going on in the real estate market. So, that's it.
Rob?
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Are we supposed to identify that we're a senior for an exemption at the township level as well as the county level?
You can come to our office and apply for your annual senior exemption, 65, as long as you're 65.
I didn't even know that, I should have done that a while ago.
Yeah, well,
Doesn't it go
now
retro?
It's annual, every year?
You apply for that once,
Just
and then
once,
each
okay.
year you would, you know, you may be eligible for the senior freeze depending on your household income, but you get a chance to, you know, apply for that each year.
Does it go back? Does it go retro at all, Mark?
We can go, we
Like
can
a
get
certain
credit
amount of
for the
time,
tax
right?
bill that's coming out here, so, you know, if you come up and apply for it,
Do I need an appointment or?
no, just go ahead.
Does it have to be done in person, or is there a form they can just do online?
Because we do require to see, you
Oh,
know,
like you're not.
yeah,
Okay.
so, all we ask is if it's in the trust or anything, then you bring a copy of the page of the trust that declares you as the beneficiary of the trust.
Okay, thanks.
Rob?
I wanna thank everybody for coming tonight. I was elected as a trustee back to be a watchdog of our dollars, and when I see things that are, what I believe to be misspent dollars, it riles me up a little bit, and like I said, when this one was dropped on me this morning, I was quite surprised after the road district was told that you can't buy, build, or maintain a park in the state of Illinois per statute by Mr. Puma. To see that it's continuing and it's your dollars being spent, which should be used for patching or ditching or salt or whatever else, it's upsetting. And I hope to get to the bottom of this by tomorrow and figure it out when the county finally gets involved and see if we can't get it shut down. Do I think Mr. Keltner should still be celebrated? Yes. We've done it, like I said, with Hamilton Road, we've done it with the bridge already. I think we're done contributing towards his passing. I wanna thank Mark for all he does for the assessment office. He has got the finest assessment department, I believe, in the state of Illinois. He does a tremendous job. If you go by on a Saturday or Sunday, you look up the hill, there's a Toyota Highlander sitting there because he's working on Saturdays and Sundays. Right, Iris?
Oh, yeah.
You think it's a 40-hour for an official like that, it's not. He's there all the time. And I couldn't love that job, but he does. So I thank him for that. I look forward to the future here and see what we can do for some positive change. I wanna thank everybody for coming again.
Karen?
No, just same as what Rob said, it's nice to have meetings where there's someone actually here. It's second Thursday of the month, come on back.
Number 15, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
I will second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.